everyone, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome to 2026. Well, it was nice to have a couple of weeks off at my age and after all of the decorating and so on, and the Christmas party needed some time to regroup and wind down. But now we're back in 2026 and we're going to be trying to get 2 videos out a week. I'm going to be doing some different kinds of videos. I will explain that probably on Wednesday, which will be the first craft day. But today it's all about what's for dinner tonight. And tonight we're going to have a hobo casserole with hamburger or ground beef. And it's a one-pot dish, basically. And it's a mixture of meat, potato, and vegetables. So everything is in the one dish. So I'm going to take you down to the stove and I'll show you what's going on and how we put together a hobo casserole with ground beef. Right back. Okay, I have ground off a pound of ground beef and taken most of the grease out. I like to use ground chuck at an 80-20 because I think it has the best flavor, but it also has more fat in it than you need to leave. So I've taken that out. I've added 1 chopped small onion, and I'm just letting those get translucent. This is all going to go in an oven later, so it doesn't have to be completely done. I'm going to add a good scoop of garlic, 2 cloves basically. I'm just going to mix that around and let it get a little bit of fragrance on it. Now I'm going to add 3 medium potatoes. Let me just drain them here, get them in water. If I can get everything in this pan. I'm going to add 2 cups of green beans. That's about a can. And the recipe said that if you don't want, you can add other vegetables. If you like other vegetables, I'm going to add a handful of corn because we like corn. So a little bit of frozen corn. And some of it got in the pan. Most of it got on the stove. Now I'm going to add a can of tomatoes with their juice. Now if you like spicy, you can always add Rotel. These are fire roasted. And I'm going to very carefully try to mix this in. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Salt and pepper. And Italian seasoning. It says a teaspoon, and I honestly don't think there's much more than a teaspoon in here. But we'll put that on. That's it. I have one more ingredient to add before I put it in the oven, but I'm going to get this mixed up first before I put more in it here. This looks good, doesn't it? Meat, potatoes, tomatoes, green beans, corn. If you don't like green beans, use peas, carrots. Or peas and carrots. Okay, I think that's everything except 1 can of beef broth. 1 cup, I'm sorry, of beef broth. And I'm just going to put this in, part of it now, and then I'm going to put this in the pan, transfer it to my pan, and I'll put the rest of the beef broth on it. Because it would be too difficult to stir it. Let me get a big spoon. And I'm sliding the pan behind it here. The 9x13 basically that I have greased. The oven is preheated to 350, and this will be covered with foil and baked in the oven for 1 hour. Then I'm going to take the foil off, cover it with some shredded cheddar cheese, and put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes or so. Let the cheese all melt bubbly. Oh, let me see. Got some hamburger here. We don't need it on the burner. Okay, I'm going to slide this dish down beside us here. Get me a pot holder. The price of groceries, I'm going to get it all out of the pan. And I'll add the rest of that broth. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to cover it with foil and cook it for an hour, and I'll be back when it's time to put the cheese on. See you in a while. Okay, out of the oven, and it's hot. Look at that. Ooh, steaming. We're going to add some cheese to the top of this. I have yellow, I think it's sharp cheddar cheese that I grated. Not a ton, but a nice covering on the top. It says, I think the recipe said a cup. That looks good. Well, a little more is okay. I'm going to put this back in now for another 15 minutes or so. Let that cheese melt nice, and I'll bring you back when I take it out. Here it is right out of the oven, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes when I can get close enough to it to actually give you a taste test. Okay, I've got a small dish here, and this dish is burning my hand, so I think the stuff inside of it's going to be very hot. But let me give it a little taste if I can. Okay, I've got some burger, some potatoes. Let me get some tomato on it. Ooh. Wow. Delicious. Oh my gosh. Potatoes are cooked perfect. It's delicious. I'm going to serve this tonight, right now, actually, with some Texas toast. And we're going to enjoy it. And so I hope you had a great evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you. Try this. It's an easy recipe. As you saw, it was more of a, well, you had to cook up the ground beef, but everything was in one pot, and then you put it in the oven. So I'll talk to you on Wednesday for Craft Day. Until then, I hope you all have a great afternoon, evening, morning, night, whatever it is for you. Play nice now. Love ya. Bye-bye.